When it was first announced that Randy Orton would be taking on Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 41, that instantly became my most anticipated match for this year's WrestleMania. And it became that because Randy Orton is my all time favorite WWE superstar, Kevin Owens is number two. So I literally had my two favorites going at it on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And then it all came crashing down. The news about Kevin Owens needing neck surgery and missing this year's WrestleMania was an absolute gut punch for me and a lot of other WWE fans, and I'm sure it was a major gut punch for both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And now that Kevin Owens is going to unfortunately miss WrestleMania 41, that would leave Randy Orton without a WrestleMania match. So that begs the question, who can replace Kevin Owens and take on Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41? So that is going to be the main topic for today. And before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say if you're a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel because that's all we post is WWE related content. So typically how I would do these videos is I would go through the main roster, pick a handful of guys who I think would be a very good match for Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but instead of doing that, I'm kind of going a little more on the broad side. And what I mean by that, instead of picking a specific superstar, I'm going to look at the main roster, look at possibly someone from NXT, someone possibly coming into WWE, and that's kind of how we're going to judge on who I think Randy Orton should face at WrestleMania 41. So we're going to start off talking about the main roster. If WWE wants to go down this route, who could we possibly see Randy Orton facing? One name that I know is so far not on the WrestleMania card yet is Solo Sikoa. And obviously, Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa have a pretty good history at this point. The question is it too late to try to bring that feud back, or is it just not even interesting at all because, again, we've seen that feud before? I ultimately don't think that it's going to be someone from the bloodline, specifically Solo Sikoa, because the fact that I think Solo is more intertwined in the whole Jacob Fatu story going on right now. So right away, I think you can eliminate Solo Sikoa from possibly being the answer to this question. One guy who I noticed is left off so far of this year's WrestleMania card is Chad Gable. And we know that Chad Gable and Randy Orton can put on fantastic matches because we've seen them do it before in the past. And I think it would be a disservice to Chad Gable if he was left off of this year's WrestleMania card, considering El Grande Americano comes right in out of nowhere and is immediately given a WrestleMania spot. Now look, El Grande Americano is a surefire Hall of Famer at this point, but Chad Gable deserves to be on this year's WrestleMania card, especially after being left off of last year's. And again, given how good we know the match can be between those two, I think it makes sense. Now, whether we get something between American Made and LWO is still yet to be determined. We do know that Rey Mysterio is taking on El Grande Americano, who is kind of intertwined at least with American Made, but that still leaves out Chad Gable. So I'm not going to rule Chad Gable out from possibly facing Randy Orton this year. Perhaps they want to go down kind of the youth route and maybe picking a guy like Carmelo Hayes. I think that could be something kind of interesting, giving Carmelo Hayes a big opportunity against a certified legend in Randy Orton. Something else that has kind of crossed my mind is, what if Randy Orton is able to get into one of the already existing matches? And the one that I think would scream Randy Orton in it is John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Now, this is definitely my most far-fetched thing to say on this video, but it does kind of make sense for Randy Orton to be somewhat involved in that match. Obviously, Randy Orton and John Cena are two of the biggest rivals that WWE has ever seen, but on the other side, you have Cody Rhodes, who Randy Orton is obviously a mentor to Cody Rhodes. And don't think that WWE fans have forgotten the fact that whenever Randy Orton is around that title with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton has his eyes all over that title and nothing but the title. Again, that one is most likely not going to happen, but I think it'd be interesting. And I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe he's not in the match at all, but maybe he comes in and maybe we get a heel Randy Orton because we know that he's starting to hear those voices again. Perhaps they want to go down the NXT route and give a NXT superstar a massive opportunity on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Now, obviously, you would have to go and build a story relatively quick because WrestleMania is quickly approaching, but I don't think it's that terrible of an idea to at least experiment with. And then you have what I think is probably the most likely scenario that we get, and that is one of the incoming superstars to WWE. Someone who has already debuted, Rey Fenix, quite possibly could be put in to the WrestleMania card with Randy Orton, considering Penta is already part of the WrestleMania card. I think that's something that a lot of people would enjoy, and I think the match would be really solid too. Again, the issue is just building a feud in seemingly record time. Then you have the two guys who are rumored but not officially signed with WWE as of yet, and that being Miro and Aleister Black. Obviously, Miro being formerly known as Rusev, Aleister Black being Malachi Black in AEW, but you know who I'm talking about here. If those two are on their way back to the WWE, I think that maybe that could be Randy Orton's in, and that could be a WrestleMania match for Randy Orton. And we do know that that type of story can work because let's not forget, that's how Cody Rhodes debuted back in the WWE, was at WrestleMania 38 when he took on Seth Rollins. Obviously, Randy Orton being Seth Rollins in this scenario where he's just looking for a WrestleMania match. He doesn't care who it's against, he just wants on the card, and he wants a match on the grandest stage of them all. And Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have built a fantastic rivalry and an even better story from that single match. So I think we could get something similar between Randy Orton and either Miro slash Rusev or Malachi Black slash Aleister Black. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you think out of the three scenarios that I proposed? What would you rather see for Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41? Do you think it should be someone from the main roster, someone from NXT, or possibly one of the incoming talents into WWE? Let me know what you pick, and let me know why you picked it. Again, Randy Orton is my all-time favorite WWE superstar, so I really want to see him on the WrestleMania stage once again. So I really hope that they just find something for him to do, whether that is trying to start a new feud right away, or possibly getting his mitts dirty and intertwining his way into one of the already established matches. So as always, let me know that stuff down below in the comments. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That link will take you to all of the social medias for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. And if I am unavailable to provide updates for either Raw, SmackDown, or one of the upcoming PLEs, I will let you know on X. But my main goal with the X page is to have a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling. Especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if you are like me and you're looking for a group of wrestling fans to talk about wrestling with, swing by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, join in the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. With all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free. Both help out the channel a lot. And if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. Now, as always, stay tuned for more wrestling content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.